Ja, hallo, hier ist Michael Adams. Ich bin immer noch in Vancouver. Die Vancouver Resource Investment Conference ist ja jetzt vorbei. Aber wie immer habe ich noch ein paar Anschlusstermine. Heute bin ich wieder bei Goldsource. Der Yannis hat sich Zeit genommen, uns ein Update zu geben. Es sind gerade ganz spannende Zeiten bei dem Unternehmen, weil man jetzt, soweit ich das verstanden habe, also wirklich ganz, ganz kurz vor der Produktionsaufnahme ist. Und da freue ich mich, dass er sich die Zeit genommen hat. So, Yannis, we touched base, I think, at PDAC 2015 last year, and you told me that, hey, you will be in production by the end of this year or early in 2016. So that's the time, and so I would like to follow up what's the situation. But first, for all of my viewers that are not familiar with Goldsource, maybe give us an overview in a nutshell. Where's the project and what's the company about?
Thanks, Mike, first for the opportunity to talk. Look, there's no better time than talking to people at this week, especially now in the last week of January, because production is imminent. Actually, the commissioning phase initiates this week. So, but we will talk about that in more detail. So, Goldsource Mines is listed on TSX Venture in Canada at the symbol GXS. My name is Yannis Tsitos, and I'm the president and director of the company. The prime area or our key asset is located, a gold deposit located in Guyana, South America. This is the only English speaking in South America with British law and a very robust regime. Yeah, so it's a pretty good place to work, no doubt about that. But we are operating in Guyana for many, many years, so we've got a lot of experience and a great team there since 2009. So when we acquired the asset. It's a gold deposit, and as I said, we spent the last 2 years throughout, probably some of your listeners know, going through all the technical engineering reports, a compliant PEA 4301s, resource outline, and so on, and obviously a mining license, and then a financing. We managed to finance the company in, albeit the very difficult conditions of the market. But we have been there, we have done it with a great team. And now in the last 9 months, I would say 10 months, we spend our time in constructing the first phase development for Eagle Mountain.
And now is the time.
And now is the time. So exactly. So we just completed construction. Actually, we are entering what we call a commissioning phase. It's a phase where you initiate or you ramp up your ore throughput through the processing plant. We are switching on in a couple of days. So it's a great time to somebody listen or follow up Goldsource Mines.
And when you're finished with this, what will be the next step towards the commercial production?
Commercial production will be called by accountants when you reach, I guess, about 85 to 90% capacity. We hope to achieve that within 2 months. But first gold pour will happen within February.
And can you just say something about the all-in costs as they are calculated, and maybe especially a lot of your costs are in whatever the currency is in Guyana, and gold is in US dollars. So what's the
everything will be in US dollars.
Also your costs are in US dollars?
Guyanese dollars, obviously the local currency, but it's almost it's fallen in the last 15 years, pegged almost to the US dollar. It's not pegged really, but it's very close because United States and Canada are the two biggest trading partners of Guyana. But so it's pretty stable currency. But we calculate everything US dollars, costs, and obviously revenue down the line. And even when we do materialize the sales of gold, that will be in US dollars calculation, no problem. So, what is about all-in cost? So, this is the beauty here, and as we said, we stuck to this plan, and we are expecting to be out of the compliant PEA or 4301. We are targeting about $480 cash cost for Guyana, and that includes G&A in Guyana. And then when I apportion all the Canadian costs and the overheads here from the head office, we will go under the 620. So still something to be proven, obviously, and I don't expect that to happen from the first couple of months. But as you ramp up and you go to production, for sure we will be there. And why I say that, I mean, I shouldn't, kind of probably show that certainty, but from the point of view that the two main constituents of the cost are people and fuel. And when we did all the calculations, obviously, and independent engineering studies and internal financial modeling, models. The oil price was much higher.
higher, yeah.
You know, now we are getting diesel at a significantly reduced price to what we put on the engineering port, and the personnel and the team we have built up, which is now obviously all 100% there, it's coming just under to what we calculated up front. So we feel confident that with this to cost being more than 80% of the cost price per ounce, if the ounces come, obviously this will be the good number to refer to, right?
Yeah, but that's a good all-in cost you can live with, and you can still make a good profit margin, right? So
significant, but the model, right? the model of this development, if you remember, Michael, was that it's a phased development approach, which means we start at about 1,000 tons a day or throughput, and we want to move to 4,000 tons in a space of 3 to 4 years. In addition to that, obviously we want to improve recoveries by adding a leach reactor later on and so on. So all this depends on the profit margin that therefore you keep reinvesting this cash flow to improve your A, amount of ounces, and B, the quality, in terms of your recovery and throughput. So we don't want to dilute shareholders. We don't. This is a company. No, this is a company that's based and has proven in other deposits in the world, with experience we have built other mines, that we can do it, and we have done it. So we'll try to do the same thing in Guyana, and I'm very confident if I deliver these operating costs, and obviously, gold price, I mean, where it is, I feel is very solid in dynamics, and the macroeconomic elements suggest that we will be at least solid to that level, if not getting better. So we hope the profit margin to be there.
Right. Yeah, so that's actually what you just mentioned. That's what attracted me to the company, is that you have this experienced management team that already put mines into production, right? And then you have this staged approach so that you use the cash flow without diluting the shareholders for the expansion, right? So that's you never know, what the capital is, but at least a big portion can be financed by the cash flow from the start production. So I really like that model, especially in these days, right? It's tough to raise money. You were successful, with your track record to do that, but as you know, a lot of the other companies are struggling to even raise like a couple of $100,000, right?
Yeah, it is a very challenging market, no doubt. But people have to sometimes forget about the markets and focus to what they do better. And in our case, it's all about team, effectively, and we have built an incredible team here. This is the product of a merger we did 2 years ago, if you remember, with the management team of Goldsource Mines is the exact management team of Silvercrest Mines that deliver a major M&A recently with First Majestic. So Eric Fear, our COO, is an amazing engineer, one of the best I met. Scott Driver, a great leader. I come from BHP environment for 19 years. So even the smaller people we have in Guyana, in other words, the people, the workers and the operators, the fabricators, whatever we have used is all experience in mining, and we are very proud of that. So in Guyana, we have assembled a team that's 95% Guyanese, only 3 expats. Our general manager, Glenn Stevenson, is a great guy with a lot of experience. So we are delivering a mine on budget and on time. Actually, under budget. We will come to that in the next financial statements. But we have, whatever we said, we did, and that's important.
And this was also rewarded by the shareholders, because the stock just a couple of days ago, I'm not sure, reached a 52-week high at around 28 cents, I guess. And it was, compared to all the other companies, not all, but most of the other companies, it was a really good investment for shareholders.
It is an exception at this market, I would say.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. When I see, obviously, a portfolio of stocks that I follow, we are standing out for our kind of peer level, but even among majors, it's a challenging environment, no doubt, with a lot of kind of downward pressures at the moment. But again, you forget about all of that. You watch yourself. We don't waste treasury to unnecessary events and things. We still fly economy class. What I try to say, we put all our money down at the mine because we want to initiate. Our bet is to initiate this production, and obviously the next challenge for us, or whatever people can keep me accountable, is to bring this operating cost out there and then ramp up the mine. So we hope we will have a good year, 2016, with a lot of good news. But I would urge the people, because of the time, I guess, element here, that we cannot say so many other things that we could say about Guyana and the location and infrastructure.
No, but you can
about
look that up
everything,
on the
the team and so on. But people can go to the website, can follow our latest news, can get the independent engineering reports,
can read my newsletter.
Read your letter, German, English, whatever. All right, and just put the company on the radar screen, because it's a great team and a great company.
I totally agree. So just to sum up, and I will try to touch base with you maybe in a couple of months, so to get another update. Where do you see the company in, let's say, 5 or 10 years?
Wow, for 10 years it's very difficult to predict.
So let's stay at 5 years.
I've got 29 years experience in the mining business, and it's extremely difficult to predict where you will be in 10 years. But when even in our presentation, we've got a slide about the 5-year strategy, and the company is going to grow organically from Eagle Mountain by expanding Eagle Mountain. The resource is open in all directions. We know for close to 1 million ounces at the moment, but this is going to become hopefully a bigger deposit. We start production by exploiting only the saprolite, the soft part of the rock, the oxides, in other words. We will move into hard rock at some point. There are people that passively talk to us, or actively we pursue some other potentially business development opportunities, but always within Guyana. So bottom line, the company wants to become a medium-sized gold producer, and in a number of years we hope to achieve that.
Okay. All the best and good luck to you.
Thanks for the opportunity, and thanks for listening to me.